Now for the greatest show in the history of great fucking shows.
Yeah, come on. Yeah, come on.
Okay, fuck, here we are up in studio, man. It's been a crazy fucking COVID week here, skyrocketing. We're going to tap into parental alienation. I'm with my main man, Robert Terry Berry.
Hello.
We got my other friend here, J-Bop. He's got 5 kids with 3 different women. We call him the baby maker. And we're also here. We glad to have Richard Moisen back in studio, a.k.a. Ricky Rage.
How you doing out there?
Yeah. 2 kids?
2 kids.
Okay, good.
What the fuck? You have 5 kids? You have 5 kids? Holy shit. With 3 different women? Fuck. I never knew that.
He's a baby
You
maker.
never knew that.
Hey, get that mic up to your lips, man. Fuck the popcorn. Okay, let's just go into this. First off, I don't have any kids. I've experienced some, or I've witnessed some of it. I remember just back in the day, 15, probably 20 years ago, hanging out with a girl, and I remember her on the fucking phone going ape batshit fucking crazy with her fucking ex. And I'm thinking to myself, like, why are you fucking doing this, man? The guy's waking up every fucking day, busting his ass, like making money, paying the bills. Like, this guy was a hard fucking worker. And I thought to myself, like, he's a great fucking dad, right? But that's the difference, is because they're so fucking hurt because of the relationship went sideways that they can't overlook like their personal beef with them, and then shit goes sideways. So let's just, get that off the bat, and we'll go into like what maybe Robert J or even Ricky Rage, you guys want to add to that.
Go ahead, Ricky.
Well, I'd just like to explain to everybody what parental alienation really is, right?
Yeah.
Well, an alienating parent may aim to use the children as weapons or pawns in his or her battle to destroy the other parent. These individuals often claim to be protecting the children against the evil other.
Yeah.
However, by using the children in their perpetual fight to hurt the other parent, they often show little consideration for what is in the best interest of the child, right?
Absolutely.
When one parent attempts to turn the other kids, or, sometimes you have 1 or 2, 3, 4 kids, right?
Yeah.
Tries to attempt to turn the couple's children against them. A parent who is angry at the spouse or ex-spouse accomplishes this estrangement by painting a negative picture of either the mother or the father, right?
Yeah. And it goes both ways. Let's
yeah,
sure, it goes both ways.
It goes both ways, Like there's no discrimination against male or female here.
Yeah.
But let's make it very clear here that 90% of it is towards the fathers.
Absolutely, yeah.
Because the courts award custody to the mother all the time, right?
Yeah.
And when you go into the courts, you're thinking that, I got a fair chance here, right?
Yeah, but let's just
It's
rewind.
changing now, though.
Let's just
It is
rewind it, because
changing
it
now.
has totally changed nowadays. Now what they try to do is they try to put they try to make it as fair as possible, 50-50. But you see, like a lot of dads, and I do know this from
Personal experience.
Yeah, not just myself, because like I fought hard, like right off the hop, right? But for instance, like Jab here,
Baby Maker.
Yeah, Baby Maker. He and a few other people. Once this shit's going down, it's important to get out there and file the appropriate paperwork. It's so important, because once you do that, then you have a leg to stand on in court to fight for your child.
You have a voice then.
You have a voice, but you have to do that. Like, did you ever get served with papers?
Absolutely.
Did you ever reply?
Absolutely.
Okay, then now, did you have your court date?
Absolutely.
And so even on your court date, like, she managed to prove you to be some sort of fucking deadbeat? I don't get it.
Well, this is what happened is when we were in court, we went through our whole little custody battle, and I have a daughter with her that's biologically mine.
Yeah.
And when I met her, she had a 1-year-old little boy who called me daddy after like about 6 months, right? Never knew his real dad. Knew him, but didn't know him, right? She pulled that crap with his real dad and just...
It's a pattern mostly.
Absolutely, it was a pattern, right?
Yeah.
And I didn't find this out until later, but it was a pattern in her whole family where her dad did it to her, and it goes all the way down the line, right?
Yeah.
So when it was happening to me, and I didn't know what the hell was going on, because being in a criminal court case to a family court case is absolutely totally different. They look
Yeah,
at
they
it.
are.
They look the way they look at it is so different, right? Where she would come into the courtroom and pointing the finger at me, right? And my mom, my dad, my brother, my sister, they always said, listen, you go in there and you do what's in the best interest for your kids. So that's always what I always did, right? I always went in to do what was the best interest of my kids, right? Because all I wanted to do was just be part of their life.
For sure.
I didn't care about pointing the finger at her or what she did.
Yeah.
I just wanted to see my kids.
Yeah.
So I was getting my visits, right? Courts here say, hey, listen, every parent should be part of their kids' lives. I was seeing my kids. But to prevail, she couldn't let things go. She didn't like how things were going. She would phone me after a visit and say, I don't like how the kids are behaving now. Well, what do you want me to do about it? They're good as gold for me. You're letting them do things, you're letting them get away with stuff. I want you to discipline them. Why? They're being good for me. How do you want me to discipline them? Click, hang up.
Yeah, yeah.
It was just complete
It's a power struggle.
So I don't mean to interrupt. So like, but was your court ordered? Was it you got weekends or just?
I got
other
every
day?
second weekend.
Yeah.
We were to meet each other at Newton Wave Pool,
Yeah.
drop off and pick up.
Yeah. Public place. Yeah. That's good.
Then it got to the point where she couldn't even deal with that, so I had to make my mother and father third-party communicators.
Okay. Now, if you don't mind me asking, what did you do with with your kids when you had them?
I would take them out. We'd go shopping. We'd go bananas. We would, do whatever. And the thing was, I lived with my brother who had 2 stepdaughters and 3 other kids. So there was 5 kids. I would end up babysitting 8 kids,
Yeah.
including the ladies
And so
downstairs.
they loved to be at your house because
They
it was fun.
loved being at my house. And here's the thing. My daughter was born 2 hours before my birthday.
Yeah.
So the attachment between me and her was huge.
Yeah.
My ex couldn't stand the fact that in court, when she said to the judge, I'm not his real dad, why should he have anything to do with me? The judge looked at her and said, that man right there has just as much rights to that little boy
Nice.
as you do.
Yeah.
She did not like that.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
So now here comes the manipulation, right?
Yeah.
The programming
Yeah.
of the child, right? She's got the kids for 11 days out of the 2 weeks, right? Now, when my visits would come up, all of a sudden, my mom and dad would be to pick them up on Friday. All of a sudden, I'd get a phone call from my mom, and she'd say, I spoke with her, and she said that you're not getting the kids this weekend.
Wow.
I'm like, well, no, it's a court order. Didn't matter. In the provincial court, they can't enforce visitations.
Yeah, unless it's stated.
Wow.
So
So anytime she could pretty much pull out if she calls you the night before and you're being a dickwad to her or whatever, or she's being a bitch to you, so she's gonna pull a power trip, she could pull the plug and say, fuck you, you're not getting your kids the next day.
absolutely, right?
Yeah, but
Ooh,
see,
that
like,
must happen a lot.
No. Like
I
a
bet
lot
you-
of shit's shit's changed. Do you actually think
No,
that-
now, but
Yeah.
I mean back then. Let's just get
It's
real
still-
here.
that's
We're
still
going
like-
back
that's still
what, 20
against the
years?
law.
We're going back 2002, 2003,
Yeah, so like
2004.
18 years.
Yeah, but here's the thing: is even back then, you still just couldn't break an order for the sake of breaking an order. Because then, what's the point on going to court then?
And this is what I thought. But see, here's the thing, is the courts, provincial courts, can enforce a visitation. You have to go to the Supreme Court to do that. And
Well,
when you went to go to the Supreme Court, you need a lawyer.
Wow.
And for them to just not let you go or
You gotta
not let the
speak.
kids come and see you, what are you going to do? You're going to have to go to court to go back to make sure that they let you see the kids.
Yeah, but
And that doesn't help when you're there in that moment. I tried numerous Christmases where I had to get the girls,
yeah,
and so we would go to the island on Christmas Day, and I would have to plead with someone for hours and hours to be able to get to go to get them to come. And the fight would keep going and going, almost to where I would want to just say, okay, fuck it, I'm not going to bother. But
You want to see your kid.
yeah. And so just, pleading with them to let them come over, and the other one saying, well, no, I'm not going to do it. No.
I know. Like,
And so
I
now,
get it.
but you can't just say, okay, well, we have a court order, so you have to let me see them. Because where do you go? Okay, well, yeah, I'm not going to
Yeah,
get to see them today.
you
Then I'll
do.
have to go to court another
I
day.
called
So
the
that
police
kind
one
of
time.
doesn't help the situation right then. Yeah, sure, you can go do that,
But you're not
but you're
getting
not
your kid that
you're not
day.
getting your kid on Christmas Day.
Yeah.
And so, yeah, that's pretty good. That makes
Yeah.
you feel really good.
Because I called the police one time because she didn't give me my kids on that day,
Yeah.
which happened to be my daughter's birthday. And the police officer
Nothing
come to
we
me
can
and said, "There's nothing we can do."
Yeah.
Wow.
And I was just like, "What do you mean?" I go, "Here's my court papers. There's nothing we can do, sir. You have to go back to court."
Because they're criminal. They're not family.
Absolutely.
Right? The police. But however, if you ever have like a feeling that there's something shady going on in the house and your kids are put into danger, then the cops will go and investigate. And if they think that if what you're saying is true, then they will take the kids from the house and bring them to you.
That's right.
Ooh, I don't like that.
Yeah, but I mean, you have
No,
to, you'll
hold
have
on
to
a
have
sec
some
here.
fucking proof.
No, I know, but that gets sketchy because when parents are fucking battling back and forth, then you get, this motherfucker here has slapped my kid or has, touched my kid or whatever. See, that to me is fucking like, that's a slippery slope because when, man and wife are fucking, or, exes are battling, they're not nice to each other. They fucking hate each other pretty much. When you're going to war, like, you're going to say the fucking biggest bullshit. You know what I mean? So, yeah, I don't like that. Ooh, I didn't know it was like that. I didn't think you could do that. So all of a sudden, if your ex your ex, Rob, would be like, he fucking slapped fucking Stryker, are they coming and fucking possibly arresting you that night?
Possibly.
Wow. That's fucked up.
Like
Allegations are huge, right?
Yeah,
So
allegations are huge, and that's just what they are until they prove otherwise. And then once they're proved otherwise to be false,
Then it's documented, so they won't. So if she does it again, they'll be like, "Oh no, she's
no, because like here's the thing: if you ever put anything into the ministry,
yeah."
they have to investigate. There's no ifs, there's
Wow.
no ands, there's no buts. They have to investigate because there's allegations of something happening while a child's there, or like neglect or abuse or whatever. They have to investigate that. But however, like once they do, and it turns out that you're
clear,
clear. It can happen again and again and again.
But they won't believe it.
Yeah, but the ministries, like in the ministry and everything, they get smart on that. They're just like, okay, they're going through a custody battle.
We've been down this road.
We've
before.
been down this road before.
Yeah.
right?
Okay. So they're professionals. They
are.
kind of know what to look out for and stuff.
For sure
But
they
that's
do.
just scary. Do you want to touch on any of that? Did anything happen to you like that, Rick?
Oh, absolutely. Like
Yeah.
I've gone through. Well, basically, how it all happened to me was I come home in the middle of the night, and I used to coach a men's hockey league, right? So sometimes we'd get a fucked up time for our games would be like midnight, 1 a.m, right? That's the only time the rec center was open for our game, right?
Yeah.
So it happened to be one of those 1 a.m. times, right? I get home at 3 a.m. My house is fucking empty.
Jesus.
Empty. Not only my house is empty, my bank account's empty. My credit cards are racked. Bills haven't been paid. And
So she was plotting it for a while.
and she's so vindictive. She took all my clothes, all my bathroom material,
Wow.
left me with a pregnant fucking cat, a fish, and a dog.
Wow. So you're out there coaching, fucking, just doing your thing, trying to get Stan McClellan to the next level in ball hockey.
Absolutely.
He was actually a good fucking hot ball hockey player.
That guy
I
was-
had to give a shout out to Stan McClellan. And then you go home and fucking nothing's in your house. She's
And you know
gone.
what the most fucked up thing about that was? Is the people who drove me home, supposed to be my friends.
Yeah.
They fucking knew this was happening to me. And
Oh.
didn't say a word to me, man.
So they set you up.
And so for months, like the next day when I realized, like, because I thought at first I was robbed.
Yeah. And your fucking wife was stolen or fucking.
And the first name I screamed was my daughter's name.
Yeah.
I phoned my mom. My mom's like, she left you. I'm like, where's the truck? Because I just bought her a brand new truck. Walked on the car lot, paid $14,000 cash. Boom, there you go. There's a new truck for you, right?
Wow.
Where's the truck? I says, right? I want
Yeah.
the truck back. I got the truck back, but my mom says she left you. I've never been through anything like that in my life. I've never experienced anything like that in my life. It broke my heart.
Yeah.
Not because she left me, because my kids are not there.
Yeah, for sure.
What I realized after the night went through, I realized I didn't really love this woman because she had every reason in the world. I'm not going to ever sit there and say she didn't have any reason to leave me because I neglected her.
Yeah, for sure.
I neglected to be there for her.
Yeah.
I was stay-at-home dad, and my daytime job, to be honest with you, was selling weed, right?
Yeah.
I sold weed. I sold a lot of weed. She worked. Her job paid very minimal.
Yeah.
So her job, after 2 weeks, her job could pay probably maybe the rent.
Yeah.
But everything we had...
It's because of you.
Because of me. We had the nicest furniture. We had all the appliances you could ever imagine in a kitchen.
Yeah.
She ordered food whenever she wanted. She could have whatever, brand new truck, this, that,
Yeah.
party all the time, whatever, right? And my kids had the nicest shoes, nicest clothes. But to have that the next day, I looked at the situation and she phoned me. And I said to her, I says, you leave like that, I don't want you back. So for months, she was pulling crap with me. And so finally, I just couldn't understand why she was doing this to me, right? So I talked to her best friend. Her friend said to me, well, don't you know why? I go, no. She wanted you to come back and beg for her. I said, fuck her. I will never beg. Why would I do that? She goes, well, she wanted to show you that you love her. I go, well, actually, I don't love her, I said. I loved being a dad.
Yeah.
So when I met her, she had a little boy. He was 2 years old. Almost 2, 1 and something. And as our relationship went on, the bondage, 'cause she worked, I stayed at home with this little guy. After I met her, we moved in together 2 weeks after we met each other, which is, I'd suggest to everybody, don't ever do that.
Yeah, for sure.
Right? But she couldn't pay her rent at the time.
Yeah.
Right? So me and this little boy bonded big time. It went from daddy rich to just daddy.
Oh, that's awesome.
And I loved it. We had a little girl together. And my daughter was born 2 hours before my birthday. So the bond was even stronger. And this ex of mine, she knew. Okay, I can't, I fought for my stepson because I didn't look at him as my stepson. He's my son.
Yeah.
He called me dad. I didn't look at it, oh, you're my stepson, whatever. My love for my daughter was just as much as my love for him.
Nice.
There was no weighing it out,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
But she kept using, he's not your real son. Well, why would you do that? So when I went to court, she didn't show up because I filed for visitations. The judge in the courtroom said, well, it was around Christmas time. She'd give me my Boxing Day and 3 days after that. I said, how do I serve these papers? Oh, you can serve them to her. Oh, yes. I was ecstatic about that, right?
Yeah,
Because
yeah.
I haven't seen my kids in 3 months.
Yeah. So you're not allowed to do that anymore. I don't know.
No, I agree with them not letting me do that because
It could heat up, and there's false
Oh, there
allegations.
was. It
He
was-
punched me. He did this. Yeah.
I showed up at her apartment building and buzzed, and she's like, hello? I'm like, hi, it's me. I got some paperwork for you. Just wait there. Well, somebody else come out the door, and I walked into right into the lobby. She come out and I said, "You're served, you fucking cunt." Right? And she looked at it and she started crying.
Yeah.
And I walked out. Next thing you know, we've been already broken up for 3 months. She's already got a new boyfriend. Moved in with her. That's fine. Whatever. You want to have a chance, right? So when the Boxing Day came and my parents picked up the children, my stepson looks at me when he see me. "Hi, Richard." I'm like, "Hi, Richard." He's like, "Mom told me to call you that." He's in tears, man. I says, "Well, what do you want to call me, bud?" "Dad." I says, "Then that's what you call me.
Yeah.
That's your choice. Not anybody else's."
Yeah, for sure.
7 years old, man, in tears. Here's my daughter. She's just, just turned 1. Ecstatic to see her daddy, right? So what happened was it was going back and forth. I was seeing my kids every second weekend. But this ex of mine could not get over the fact that I had visits with Aaron, which was my son.
Yeah.
She could not get over it. Just couldn't let it be. So she started manipulating my mom.
Yeah.
And me and my mom never had a really strong relationship. And she knew this, right? Because I revealed things to her. She's seen things with her. So she started manipulating my mom. So all of a sudden my mom calls me one day and says, "I went to pick up the kids and they're not there. They moved." "What?" "The house is empty." I'm like, "What are you talking about, Mom?" "I went there. There's nobody there." So I'm like, holy shit, man. So I think I got this bitch now. So I file a court hearing. I get a date. Date's not for 8 months.
Yikes.
Yeah, it's still backlogged to this day.
So when I finally get my court date, I go into the courtroom. I think I have her. She's screwed, right? I says to the judge, "Your Honor, I'm not seeing my kids. She moved. I haven't seen them in 8 months. Blah, blah, blah." Her response is, "I don't know what he's talking about, Your Honor. His mom's picking up the kids every second weekend."
Oh, shit.
What the fuck are you? The judge looks at me and says, "Sir, what's going on?" Like, I said, "I don't know." He goes, "Well, I'm going to call a recess.
Holy fuck.
You need to go figure this out."
Yeah, call your mom.
I call my mom. "What the fuck is going on? I don't have time to deal with this shit. Here, talk to your dad."
Oh, boy.
"Dad, what the fuck's going on?" "Well, we just want to be grandparents. We don't want to be in." I go, "But you agreed to be third-party communicators. Why the fuck would you?" Here's my dad. My dad works, comes home. His bath is drawn. His dinner's made on the table.
Yeah.
Sits down, watches the hockey game, and falls.
Old-fashioned.
Sits down, watches the hockey game, and falls asleep.
So
he doesn't know all about the fucking details. He doesn't know if the bills are paid. He just goes about his business. My dad, change is bad for my dad. He needs to fucking just be the way it is.
So they want to be great fucking grandparents. They don't want to get caught up in the bullshit.
It's a second chance for parents who my mom felt she did bad things as when we were growing up to reconcile with her grandkids.
Of course, and a lot of parents do that. That's why.
Absolutely, and I understand that, right?
Because they fucked up with us and whatever.
That's right.
But anyways, Jab, what about you? Hey, Jab, you were afraid to like leave Jossie because you were afraid you wouldn't see your kids.
No, hold on a second.
Right?
I want to go a little bit fucking before that. Let's go into Jason with Lorraine. This is one of the fucking, like, till this day, I always thought to myself, like, if there's anybody that's getting fucked over here, it's been this fucking guy. Like, to have somebody pull their fucking kid away from you and then basically fucking say that some other dickwad is the daddy and not let you fucking, I don't know, man. I'll let you fucking, how do you feel about that, man?
Well, I don't know, like, when this is when we're younger, so I'm a kid.
Yeah.
And I don't, it's not like I was like I am now.
Yeah.
I didn't know what to do. I had no idea why. I mean, we stopped seeing each other, and that's how relationships end. Whatever. She got together with another guy, an older guy, or older than we were.
Yeah.
And I don't know what happened. And all of a sudden one day, I was at your house, And I called there, and then it was like, don't ever call here again.
Yeah, I remember that.
Don't ever call here again. And then just trying to figure stuff out, and I was scared. I didn't know what to do. And fuck, 20 some odd years later, still haven't seen him. Didn't know about going to court or anything. Didn't go back, just because I didn't know what to do. I got together with, I had another relationship later on down the road. Had kids with someone else.
Yeah.
And it affected how I was with her, because I didn't know how to get out of that relationship sooner, because I was worried about not being able to see my kids.
For sure.
And still to this day, I have no idea why she just up and just said, no, you're not allowed to see him anymore. And I've talked to her about it. She apologized.
Well, that was nice of her.
But there's still no, it is up to him. I don't know the whole story about what she said to him or how it was. I don't know if she
Didn't she say that you had died or something like that?
I have no idea.
Okay.
But I remember.
She probably threw you right under the fucking bus.
I remember just before this all happened, we had the court, I had visitation, all that other stuff, and she wanted me to sign this one piece of paper at the mall.
Yeah.
She wanted me to sign it, and I never signed it. I didn't. I said I'm not going to sign it, and I don't know if maybe she changed his name, because I have the thing for his birth certificate at the house. His middle name is named after my uncle.
But he could have taken his stepdad's last name.
Oh yeah, he could have. But on your birth certificate's always going to say your last name.
Yeah, for sure, right? But
So
Was it to give up your parental rights? She wanted you to sign.
I have no idea I never signed it. I said I
thing.
wasn't going to sign it. It didn't help me out anyways.
yeah,
But-
it didn't help you out.
And Katie's tried to contact him, and I guess he doesn't know what to do, I guess. Right?
Because that's a shock for him too, though.
Yeah,
right?
well, he found out, I guess, her and her mom were having an argument, and she said, well, if you're not going to tell him who his dad is, I'm going to.
Fuck.
Wow.
And so she had to tell him that the person who, I guess,
You thought your
from
dad
when he was 3 years old or whatever, 3.5 years old, who he thought was his dad wasn't actually his dad.
Yeah.
And yeah,
Wow.
so
It's like-
and that's, I don't know. I don't know. I wouldn't want to go and bring a humongous shock to somebody and say, "Hey, guess what? I'm your dad."
So, did Lorraine serve you with any papers? Or anything?
Just when we went, I think the very first time we went to court for visitation rights.
And that's it. And
That's it.
And then all of a sudden one day visitation just stopped.
Yep. Just
Wow.
stop.
Holy fuck.
Remember we would take him to the mall when she lived in.
Fuck, he was a fucking chick magnet.
Where
Remember
did
that shit,
I forget?
Marco?
What was that place
Absolutely.
where she lived? Right by across from the school.
Oh, Bonterra.
Yeah.
Or Village Green.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then so that after she lived it out, that was the last time.
I remember going into her apartment and it smelled like cat shit or some sort of shit. Maybe it was her. Maybe it was her stinky vag or something.
I don't know.
That's not an edit.
Oh boy.
Fucking cunt.
Stinky vag.
I mean,
No,
you
no,
can't.
no,
Okay,
no.
so now I like I said when we started the thing, I'm not into throwing
people under the bus. But you
want
to know something? What she did is fucking disrespectful and rude in every way, shape, or form. Because you are a good dad. I've known you fucking most of my fucking life, and most of your fucking life. I hope that's how that math works out.
It's disrespect to the kid itself,
But it's
though.
disrespectful for her to just fucking up and do that.
Well,
like
we were kids,
I
though.
understand you were kids, but you want to know something? You both made a decision as adults or as kids to have a fucking kid, and she treated you like that. Lorraine, shame on you. You are a piece of shit.
And
Here's the thing, though. I've been at like parties where there's other kids around, and you have friends that like always thought of Jab a certain way, and then they saw him with his daughters, and they're like, "Holy fuck, this guy's a great dad. Like, he's hugging them, telling how much he loves them. Like, you know, like, there's some parents that they won't hug you fucking, like, they won't tell you you're great and you're beautiful or nothing. And they saw you interacting with your daughters, and they were like, holy fuck, man, everything that I've heard is like complete opposite. I just want to throw that out.
Act.
It's
Baby maker.
Same thing happened with me. I used to babysit for 2.5 years, 8 kids every day. All the way from the ages of, no shit, all the way from the ages of my daughter, who was 1 at the time, to 12 years old.
Yeah.
Every fucking day. And people we see, like, how do you do this? Like, I had people come up to me in the restaurant. How can you take care of 8 kids? I says, because I don't put up with their shit. You know what I mean? But I always, it's like, if we want to go to the park, if one of you act up, we all come home. I was fair about everything. They all got hugs. They all got kisses. They all got the same things. I never treated one more than the other. Better, you know, like, that's the way it was, right? And I loved being a dad. I thought it was the greatest feeling in the world, man, right? And to have that taken out of you, it hurt me more than anything.
It would be devastating. You see, like,
absolutely.
I'm not at that point in life, because, like, my kid will never be, unless I become a fucking murderer or something, because that kid is just like dad, like, fuck, you know what I mean?
Just loves you.
Yeah, so
you're God.
Like,
he always wants to go.
Go? Yeah, he always wants to fight me and everything.
Like, could you imagine him being taken from you?
No, like, I can't. I can't imagine what you like what happened to you guys, but I know that I would go to the depths of hell to flip that script, right? Because
it's a lot different than it used to be.
I feel like I don't mean to call Lorraine like a piece of shit. And I understand you guys were kids.
People make mistakes
but
all the time.
Yeah, but just hold on. She is a piece of shit. But now, because this set forth pretty much the rest of your parenting life for what she did. Because you were afraid to leave Jossie, because you were afraid you would never get to see your kids again. Is that true?
That's true.
Right? And what about Trish? Like, not that you'd ever leave Trish because you're happily married. But what about that? Like, has that ever caught, like, oh my God, I will never leave this woman because I'm afraid to lose my kids?
Well, that's not how it is
I know
that part, but it's
I know, but Lorraine's a piece of shit. Let's just keep saying that. If we laugh from here on out, just remember, Lorraine's a piece of shit.
Well, here's the
thing. But no, it did set, like, it set forth how I am.
Sure.
How you are.
I
and I feel bad
spoke
for
to
that.
Lorraine about that and said that you've effectively changed how I've been.
Yeah.
And some of it's for the good, but a lot of it's for the bad.
Did you forgive her?
I've only ever had one other conversation on the phone with her.
She apologized to you.
She apologized through a message.
Okay, well, did you forgive her when you read that message?
Well, I not really forgive, but I mean, we were a lot younger. She got together with someone else who was a little bit older.
Like
maybe that person was I don't think he's 20.
Well, 12 for sure.
Fucking 108 years old or what?
I understand that she can be. I mean, you see how she is now. Somehow she's been manipulated.
Yes, okay.
It's not the same person. It's a different person that she's with now.
I just like man, you want to know something? Because those actions that she took. First of all, when you decide, like I'm going to say it again, when you decide as a kid to have a baby, as soon as you have that baby, you are no longer a fucking kid. You are an adult.
Grow up.
Or you try to.
No, listen. You are an adult. You're taking on the biggest responsibility of human life, and you're taking on that baby, and then you want to do that. So like, and like I said, if she never did that to you, your life would be fucking 100% different.
I no doubt, right? Like, but
well, just the feeling of
and I
like,
feel bad. I feel fucking bad.
The hurt and the pain of wondering why. Like, are you not good enough? Why would you do this to me? Like, you know what I mean? Like, you weren't a bad fucking person.
Well, the one thing that I don't like is my mom didn't get to see him after.
Yeah.
And that really disappoints me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And like I said, I hadn't spoken to Lorraine since that time on the phone where I was told, oh yeah, don't bother coming around. And talking to her a couple of months ago about other stupid shit.
About fucking conspiracy theories and shit.
You know, I didn't bring anything up to her about it or say, hey, you know, why this, why that. That's meant for a face-to-face kind of conversation. I would like to know why, like, or what was said, or whatever. I mean, I don't think I'm that bad of a person that someone shouldn't, that he shouldn't get. He's got brothers and sisters that maybe would like to see him. Katie would like to meet him.
For sure.
Maddie would like to meet
so
him.
none of them have met him?
No.
Just
Leland
talked to him.
Leland asked about him. Lindy asked about him.
So instead they decide to come out like and tell him this information that that's not his real dad, but you are. Mm-hmm. And probably at the most
or maybe
crucial times
I don't
of his
even
life,
know. I don't even know if it was told, oh, this is your dad, aside from just the person isn't your dad.
This person isn't your dad, but they decide to do it at the most crucial time of like what was he, 18 years old?
Mm-hmm. Something like that.
Like, wow.
And that's
not your dad. Go on to the real world.
And that's what's crazy, though, is because when the kids grow up, you think to yourself, hey, they're going to know the truth, and they're going to come and want to know who their dad is. This is what I thought, right?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Doesn't work like that.
Doesn't fucking work like that because they've been programmed to hate.
It is parental alienation. And what Lorraine did to you is parental alienation at its worst, because
that's gross.
She just up and left. You did not know where she was. She changed the name. Weren't allowed to contact, and
I didn't know what to do. Right? Like I didn't. I mean, maybe I should have pushed forward with trying to go to court or whatever, but I didn't know what to do, and I was scared, and I've already feeling shitty about the rejection that I've just getting, and then looking for more disappointment would be even worse, right? So I didn't. I mean, if that was now, it would be different. Yeah. But when I was 18 years old, it's a lot different.
Yeah. So many dads, like the young guys, have committed suicide because of this kind of shit. Like, believe it or not, they absolutely have. They've killed themselves because of not seeing their kids.
Yeah, well,
because they're good guys,
and because they feel that the deck is stacked against them. You get 100%. You get
because in the past
it used to be that way.
But however, here let me check this out. Now, my dad is a parental alienating asshole, right? And I hope he listens to this because he's gonna get a fucking earful. Now, my dad got custody of me and my two older brothers in the 70s.
Rare.
Which is a rarity, right? And absolutely. I don't care to know, back in the day, if I would have asked my dad, well, what happened to your mom? He just, oh, your mom's a fucking cheating whore, like you just make shit up or whatever, right? Yeah. You ask my mom, oh, your dad was really aggressive or whatever, right? Yeah. And I really don't care what the fuck Nature Boy and Jane were up to. I really honestly don't give a shit. The fact is, my dad got custody of 3 fucking people. Three kids, his 3 kids, and I know how he did it. He was a fucking bully, and I know he was a bully. He bullied my mom, basically saying, "You can't afford these fucking kids. You can't afford this. I can.
Give me the kids."
Yep. So he just took them. He just took us, and my mom at the time, probably wasn't.
Had the confidence.
She was a house mom.
Confidence. Yeah. My mom worked, but she didn't have like the energy to really fight back. And my brothers told me this. My brother Ken told me this, that when they would go and visit my mom, right, my dad would give them $50 and say, "Run away." So they're listening to my dad.
So like run away to like the movie theater.
Yeah,
and
run away.
Problems
Yeah,
and
run
just
away.
Go...
And I think one time my mom caught him up on the Island Highway. I think they're running to Nanaimo or something.
Holy
right?
fuck, man.
But Bob, you asshole.
Yeah, fucking. But he was a bully, and that's what happens a lot. And like for instance, like in your situation, Ricky, like you ultimately, in the end, you got bullied. It's like, nope, I'm leaving. I'm packing the kids up, moving to fucking Alberta, doing this, doing that, and Jab. Like, we haven't even touched on fucking Robotham there. She bullied you to the tits. And do you want to know something? The odd time, I don't want to put what I'm going through like with my ex-wife and whatever, because we do have court orders, and court orders are followed. They're absolutely followed 100%. Oh shit, what time is it, by the way? I gotta call him at 7. No, he said he was gonna call me at 7. And but they're followed to a T. And very rarely do they ever like a little line gets broken here or
There's
there.
understanding there, right?
Yeah, there is understanding there. But the hardest thing, like between me and my ex-wife Erin, is the co-parenting part of it, because I see things differently and she sees things differently. Like, you know, like
Different rules, right?
Yeah, I'm not like like my bedtime at my house is different than probably her bedtime.
Yeah.
Right? You know, like we sit down and we eat dinner at the table.
That's
at
right.
the dinner table, where she might let him just eat in his room. I don't know. But so stuff like that, right? So, but you're supposed to meet in the middle on education and health, right? Education, health, and as long as like you're not out there blasting rails and leaving fucking drug paraphernalia on the table, and you know, like fucking hammered while taking care of your kid.
Endangering your children.
Your children, it's okay. You know, like pay a little bit. I try to do as much as I can with my kid. Like, I've watched so much fucking wrestling, and like, you know, like fucking last week is
He
over.
loves wrestling.
We powered through the Leprechaun series and the fucking Halloween series. Like, I'm just like, fuck, this is all like within 7 days, right? And then, you know, and then we're watching fucking Monday Night Raw and fucking, you know, Thursday Night SmackDown or whatever it is.
Yeah, you can only put up with so much, right?
But I do it because that's what
what he
wants.
likes.
That's what he likes, right? So now, like, I get a lot of grief from like
Ex-wife.
like my ex-wife. Oh, you should do more things with them. You do more things with them. But I ask him every time, like, what do you want to do? Well, there's this new TV series out there. Have you heard it? It's called Friday the 13th. And I'm like, yeah, of course I heard of that. He's like, can we watch them all? I'm like, fucking rights we can, right? You know, like, fuck. So I always do what he wants to do, right? But a lot of times, me and my ex, we don't see eye to eye on a lot of things. But and I can honestly say, I think out of that parental alienation checklist, I think I can check off one thing that I've done. But, it might have been one time, but I don't know, like, I don't know how many she can check off, but you know what I mean? So, it just sucks that we all have to go through this and whatever. You see, I don't mind paying child support. I think child support's a great thing.
Me too.
You know,
Well, you should have to pay.
Yeah,
You should have to pay for your kids.
And we were talking earlier, Ricky, about child support, and you want to know something? Like, when I pay her child support, and if I saw her at the nightclub on the day that I paid it to her, it wouldn't even fucking bother me.
No, me neither.
As long as my kid is fed, housed, and clothed.
That's right.
Yeah.
And just remember that. And if your child isn't getting any of those, this goes out to everybody, whether you be a man or woman. If your child isn't getting any one of those, like, then say something.
Yeah.
Take him to court.
The thing that I feel is, I think that really, if you look back or if you talk to anybody, they would tell you that they fucking wish they didn't go to battle so hard, because none of them won.
Well, you regret it after.
Yeah,
And
like,
you regret it. You do.
Just even if you're on the
giver,
side
the
that's
taker,
giving or the
whatever.
taker, it doesn't do anybody any good.
Absolutely. Like, they will look back at it and go, fuck, it was such a waste. That energy was all negativity.
Like,
we were battling so fucking hard. Like, there's people that will fucking kill their exes or hire somebody. That's how crazy this shit can get.
It does, because you get a thing called baiting and bashing,
Yeah.
right? Mm-hmm. Where they bait you in and bash the living shit out of you to get a reaction out of you, and then play the fucking victim.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, for sure. Like,
And that's
it's
the
also-
road I went down, right? Because
It's
my
give
ex
and
didn't
take
like
a
the
bit,
way
too.
how I parented. I'm a believer of, I don't paint a fairy tale picture about fucking life to my kid.
Yeah.
He asks me questions, I give him the truth.
oh yeah, so do I.
My ex don't like that. She wants to paint a fairy tale, unicorns, popcorn, and fucking carousels all over the place.
Yeah.
I'm not a believer of that, right? My son is 24 years old now, my stepson, I call him my son,
Yeah.
24 years old, knows about everything, right? Knows about whatever goes in life. In the summertime, he goes to camp where he's a counselor for autistic children.
Nice.
And my sister-in-law says, she goes, you know, you have a lot to do with that. I says, nah. She goes, no, you do. He goes, because you never painted a fairy tale picture about life. You told him the real truth. You told him what it was like. When he asked you why that guy was in the garbage can, you said, hey, he's a fucking bum. Doesn't want to pay his bills. Doesn't want to go to school. Doesn't want to listen to fucking anybody. That's where you end up, buddy.
And drugs or addiction. Yeah.
My nephew and my son are same age. They're best friends. They hang around all the time. My nephew has his own podcast rapping.
Nice.
My son is has a job and he goes to these in the summertime as a camp counselor. They're good guys. They're good people, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And they've been lied to about a lot of things, man. And it's just I don't believe
And sugarcoating.
shit, man. I never sugarcoated shit, right? And I don't believe in it. Because it prepares kids for failure then, is what I believe, right? When they don't, it's really not like this. They're surprised, right?
Yeah.
My dad never did that with me. My dad was always right straight up to the point about everything, right?
See, for instance, I will never bite. If Stryker ever came up to me and said, hey, Dad, how come you, came up to me now or even in 5 years, how come you and Mom broke up or split up or whatever? I would not tell him. I'm going to tell him when he comes and asks me as an adult.
I understand that.
As an adult, never as a kid, because if I was to tell him now,
but sometimes an adult is still a kid, right? Right?
Yeah,
you know what I mean, right?
Yeah. So I would just I would wait till he's an adult, and I mean 18, 19, 20, same age I was when I started asking questions and stuff like that, and yeah. But if he asked me next week he's here, I'd be like, nah, it's none of your business. You ask me when you're older, right?
And then you'd watch some more WrestleManias.
Yeah, like
Super
that time you came
Cena
over
was
there.
Super Cena.
Oh, he still fucking talks about that. He's like, yeah, I can't believe Jab named him Super Cena, and he flew. You threw him right across the room or something. And he's like, yeah.
Stryker?
No, it's John Cena. Dog.
Oh.
Super Cena.
He came over, and it seemed like we watched 8 hours of WrestleMania.
No, we watched 4 Royal Rumbles.
4 Royal Rumbles.
Oh my God, that's 3 hours each.
Yeah, he kept just putting them on and putting them on and putting them on.
3 hours.
We all know Jab loves
He's asked
his
me,
wrestling.
hey, do you remember Randy Macho Man Savage?
Ooh, yeah.
Jab's like, I dated his sister.
Yeah, and Leland's all fucking holy fuck, I don't want shit, man. What's wrong with this kid?
Yeah, we had just come from baseball, and he's like, oh.
Okay. Well,
And then he came over, and they're playing with the
Yeah,
wrestlers and stuff.
yeah. That's pretty
Oh,
cool.
fuck, that's awesome, man.
My biggest thing though was I always wanted to do for my kids that my dad never did for me.
That's what we all strive to be as parents.
Right? I never wanted to be.
Well, at least that's what we start out
I
with.
never held against my dad the shit. My dad come from a family of 15 sisters, 3 brothers, and my grandpapa, he was an asshole.
Yeah.
And you got an ass whooping. My dad, that's what you got when you didn't listen. You got your ass kicked, and it was a good kicking. But when I grew up, I never believed in hitting my kids.
Yeah.
I didn't believe in that shit.
You wanted
right?
to break that cycle.
I wanted to break that fucking cycle, right? So I never hit. Because I just thought, you're stronger than them. They're little kids. You don't fucking hit them. I always give the look.
Yeah.
The fucking look was more, it worked better than anything I ever could imagine. I just give the look. Sorry, Dad. They knew right away, right? My nephews, my son, my kid, they always knew, right? The look. My dad, and my dad's 75 years old, and he says, and he apologized to me.
It. Yeah, for sure.
And I says, Dad, you don't ever have to apologize to me. I says, because I was a fucking rotten little egg, right?
Yeah.
And I did a lot of bad things. I couldn't imagine my kids doing the shit that I did when I was 7, 8, 9 years old. Jesus Christ, when I was 6 years old, I was lighting fucking fires off.
Kids today don't have any balls.
Fuck no. But today you can't even leave your kids in the backyard by themselves.
Yeah.
Lindy has come pretty close to getting into a fist fight with Trish a few times.
What?
Oh, yeah.
Hey,
How old is she?
She's 10.
Oh.
Wow.
How old is she now? 10? 10?
Yikes.
11 now? 10?
Yeah, because Easton's
11.
the same age as Leland, right? 1 year
Oh,
younger,
no.
same age.
And yeah, so she's...
Very aggressive, eh?
Lindy
Oh,
is
she's
Lindy's the baddest of them all. There's
She's the youngest?
There's never been any.
Yeah,
all of them
she's
combined have never done anything combined as bad as Lyndon has done on her own.
Wow, eh?
So
You know, like not that long ago, I was out with Stryker, and he was just being a bad kid out in the fucking Walmart, just being destructive and disruptive and shit. And I told him to stop on several occasions. He didn't, so I grabbed him by the arm, and I was like, "Listen here, I don't give a shit. I will spank your fucking ass in front of all these people."
Beautiful.
Some people were like, "Ooh," like, giving me the side look, and some people were like,
Thumbs
giving me
up.
well,
thumbs up.
everybody's like, yeah,
It's
do
a
it.
split
do
crowd,
it.
right?
It is a split crowd, right?
Split crowd, but I'm not afraid. Like if he ever steps out of line, and sometimes he comes close, I will spank my fucking child.
I
My,
believe in
my
spanking.
kids,
on the
my
ass.
kids are like that at home.
There's a
Outside of the
difference
house,
between
they're not like that
spanking
at
and
all.
beating, though, right? You know,
Of course, one swat is not a beating.
no, it's not. You know,
One swat.
and that swat usually is going to be on the bare ass with a wet hand. You know what I mean?
But yeah, we gotta like. It's hard to raise kids, and
It is.
and it's even harder to be part of your kids' lives when the other one won't let you do it, right?
Yeah.
There's no perfect dad. There's no perfect mom. You know, you make mistakes, and
Of course.
to be a parent, the only way to be a parent is not by some fucking book. You learn as you go along.
Yeah, for sure.
Well, and you looking back, like people will realize that, or most of the time they'll realize they made mistakes in not letting someone see them,
Yeah.
in not co-parenting properly, right? Like, but that's like everybody is guilty of it a little bit. Like I'm pretty sure you've thrown out some barbs every once in a while, and I'm pretty sure you have.
Absolutely.
And
for
so
sure,
have
for
I.
sure.
And
I'm not innocent.
and it's
no.
some do it a little bit more than others, and they use it as their advantage.
Yeah.
And because they know they have the advantage, and that's, it's
Like I used to reply to every fucking message with a "shut up, you fucking bitch" or something, right?
With hate mail, right?
Yeah, and I used to, and now I don't even bother,
No.
right? Because it's it took a long time for like that to sink into people. Just don't even bother
It's
responding.
such
Same
well,
thing
it's
happened to
hard.
me.
It's hard
and it
because
is hard.
you.
It's one of the hardest things not to fuck like what you're
Yeah.
I know this for a fact. I was in the courtroom and she said that I forced my stepson to call me dad. I looked over at her in the courtroom and I said, "You fucking cunt," right in front of the judge. And he screamed, "Mr. Moisen, if you talk like that in my courtroom again," he goes, "I'll fine you $500. I says, "Your Honor, if you can fine me $500, I'll give you $250. He fucking had to call a recess.
Yeah.
And when we come back, he says, "Sir, no one's ever talked like that in my courtroom. You're the first, you're the only, and you're the last.
Yeah,
Don't
yeah.
ever let it happen again."
Yeah.
That's his deal.
Nice.
Then another time, we're in the courtroom. She got her way. I got my visits taken away. So we're downstairs, and it's a family day. It was a Tuesday. And we're waiting for our paperwork, because you always get paperwork after court. You're always waiting for your paperwork. Well, I look over at her, and she gives me the scratch your eye middle finger, right?
Nice.
Now I'm fucking pissed.
Yeah.
So I get my paperwork and I walk over to her and I says, "You know what, you fucking cunt? What comes around goes around." And I mean, I screamed this at the top of my friggin' lungs, and it went dead silent. I mean, there was hundreds of people in that courtroom. I looked, and everybody's jaw was on the fucking floor. And I was with my niece at the time, and she had these really thick glasses. She looks up, and she goes, "Is that Auntie Tara?" I says, "That's your ex-Auntie Tara," I said to her. Hey, walked up. She tried bringing it up in the courtroom the next day. The judge says, "I don't want to hear any of that bullshit." He goes, "I don't want to hear that stuff," right? And that's when I realized the judge doesn't want to hear about your problems. He said, she said bullshit.
No.
He wants to hear about what's in the best interest for those children.
for the children.
Never mind about what he did to you or
Yeah,
she did to
yeah,
you
yeah.
or what you feel about him or what she feels about you. I don't care. I want to know what's in the best interest for these kids. So when we went back to the court another day, she's trying to entice me, get me going. She brings her ex-boyfriend there, or her boyfriend, well, ex-boyfriend now, but her boyfriend at the time. And this guy's egging me on. And I'm not falling for it. I'm not biting, right? Well, sheriff, who's always in that same courtroom that I'm always going for family court, walks over to this guy and tells him, "Get the fuck out of here now."
Nice.
I'm like, what the hell? Walks over to my ex and says, "Stop baiting him." She's like, "What?" He goes, "I know what you're doing. He's going through a lot. He loves his kids. Why don't you just fucking smarten up?" he said to her. And I was blown away to see a sheriff
Yeah.
do that.
Well, because they see it constant, like just probably nonstop.
Absolutely, right? And
They're
it's
sitting
just,
back watching, going like, "What the fuck?" Right?
and can see that she's doing
she's
this,
baiting
right?
you.
You know, baiting you in to try and make you. I don't know what she's trying to do.
Well, you bit before.
That's just what.
Yeah, why not try it again? It's not
Exactly,
put out a
right?
bigger lure.
Yeah, I bit with she got my mom involved in all that stuff. This woman was so vindictive. She phoned my mom. This is pretty much probably the most craziest thing she ever did. Phoned my mom and said, "Well, now that I'm back living in Delta, I know that you have a life insurance policy for your kids when you pass away. How about you give me the money that you're going to give your son now? Your son, when you pass away, give me the money for the child support." My mom was like, "What the fuck?"
Just hold on. That's a sick and disgusting fucking thing to
Absolutely, man. I was blown away. My mom was blown away.
Like I said, I'm not sure how the child support things works when your
They're two
child.
different- they're separate-
Just hold on. When your child becomes of age, and there's owing. I'm not sure how that works, but I'm pretty sure now it's up to now it. I'm pretty
think
sure
it's once the kid turns 18, the kid has to go
after the
parent.
parent.
That's how
Yes, that's what I
happens.
think it is too.
And my friend Ingrid, she always said, she goes, visitation and custody support are two fucking different issues.
Visitation and what?
Child support are two different issues.
They are.
You don't use child support as an issue to not let you see your kid.
No. You're not allowed to.
And that's what she did with me.
You
man.
can't like for instance, if me and you have a child, heaven forbid, it would be fucking butt ugly. but let's say
Robbie Rage.
Yeah, Robbie Ray.
let's say the child lives with me, right? And and you're
Bad
supposed-
analogy, bro.
and you're supposed to pay me $500 a month.
That's right.
And let's say you miss a payment. Let's say you miss this month's payment, and you're coming to pick up the child. I can't say no. You can't see the child because you didn't pay me the child support.
Well, guess
That
what?
is
That
against the
happens
law.
all the fucking
that
time, bro.
happens
And that's
a
what's
lot,
happening
I
right
think.
now.
It does.
think
It
it
does.
happens
And
a lot.
all you guys
That's
have
where
to
the
do is
problems
go to
start.
court.
That's where the problems all start, right
It
there.
is against the law to do that. You cannot withhold a child due to child support.
Do you feel that now, Jason, or AKA Baby Maker? Do you feel that you have a way better relationship with Jossie now that you kind of,
All the monies.
Well, as we got a bit older,
Yeah.
it's different.
you realize that
it's-
what you guys were doing was
there's-
just like fucking
well, yeah.
stupid.
I mean, it is. It's always stupid. It does you no good.
Yeah.
Like and some people won't let it go.
Yeah.
Some people dwell on it and think, well, fuck you. But why bother having that? Why hold on to it? Let it go, because it does you no good.
Yeah.
Once your kids get of age or get old enough that when they're adults, yeah, you're gonna miss out on a lot of stuff when they're younger.
How old is your son that you haven't seen?
28.
Wow.
28.
And you've never met him?
Jesus, man.
He was 2.5 years old when we saw him last.
Wow.
And I think that last time was.
Do
Well,
you
no,
think you would
took him to the mall.
recognize him if you seen him?
Probably not.
I know what he looks like. I see pictures of him online all the time.
Oh, and so have you tried to reach out to him?
Again, I don't know how to do that. I don't know if that's.
It's scary.
You think he's on Facebook?
I don't know what
say.
what reaction, or like I said, I don't know what was told to him. If they said this is who your dad is, or just this person isn't.
You're scared of the reaction from him, right?
Exactly, and I don't want to bring that big shock of like a big,
Fuck that, man. You just.
I think you need to do it,
you
bro.
see him, just
Yeah.
be
I really
Who's
do.
your daddy?
I think you need to do it. I think you need to just tell him
But
the truth.
because Katie has tried to contact him, and then
she
he
wouldn't know.
kind of gets a little off, I guess,
I just think
standoffish or whatever. Not
throw
really,
the wind to the air, buddy, and just I think you need
not
to do
really
it.
not interested, but just
Yeah.
not. And I mean, they're
he's
old enough
interested.
now.
Trust me, he is. Everybody was. Everybody would.
Yeah,
be.
because he must know if she's like, I'm your sister.
Yeah, but he wouldn't know who I would be.
Yeah.
Well, I know, but
I
you could
think,
be like,
you
I'm
know
your
what,
daddy.
man? I think it's been enough years, man. 28, fuck. I think you got to reach out to him.
He's a man.
You got to reach out
I
to
just
him.
always thought that's for
Him
if
to
he
do
wants
No.
to come and find it or search it out, because I don't want to.
I think you need to do it and
And I
tell him,
think-
"Hey, I'm your dad, and I love you," and I never felt any different, man.
And I think I think that if you took this to the masses, like a lot of people would agree with you guys, and a lot of about 50% of the people would agree with you, and just let him come to me if he wants to.
Yeah, but you know,
it's
sometimes
not
you got to
just-
fucking man up. Not saying that you haven't manned up.
He manned up.
Well, I
5
feel
fucking times, man.
I feel kind of ashamed and embarrassed that I didn't push the issue
Harder.
forward.
Absolutely.
So now
and
you
harder.
got to grab the
So
bull by the
that's
fucking horns.
another
Just-
thing too, right? Like, I don't feel happy that or good that I was like, okay, I'll just
So passive.
back away into the distance and wait for something to happen that may never happen.
Yeah.
Maybe he's waiting for you
Yeah.
to reach out to
You
him.
never know.
Because he's
But
your
again,
son,
like,
right?
it's like I
you
don't
feel that way, so maybe he feels the same way too, right?
But
You know, like,
and
so-
I always said, like, the person that raised him for the 18 years or whatever before,
Was a good.
that's
dad.
the person who you would call dad.
Yeah.
You know, not just okay. Well, I'm
Yeah.
your dad because I am your dad, but
You're his biological
Yeah.
father, right? So
so
it's his choice, right? But I honestly think, Jay, I
Hey,
think you should,
Rob.
you should reach out to him. I really do, bro.
I know you got a phone call to make here. Why don't you just put Strikey on speaker phone? No. Put him on speaker right now because you're gonna talk to him on your phone call. Hold on, Rob's got a 7 o'clock phone call here. He's four minutes late.
Tough, I know.
Let's get Stryker here on podcast. He Hey, Warren, Stryker loves the podcast.
I didn't get the result I wanted.
He's like, when can I come on? When can I come on? Talk about wrestling.
It's that.
Hey, big guy. I'm here doing a podcast. You want to talk? You want to be a live caller?
Yo, Strikey.
Let's hear this.
How's it going? How you been?
Good.
Yeah. I'm here with Jason. Remember he was talking Jab with wrestling and Ricky Rage.
Hey,
So what do you have to say? How was school?
Good.
Did you get in trouble?
No.
Do I owe you some money?
You owe me like $5,000.
you better get all your friends to subscribe to this podcast so we can make some money then.
Absolutely. 5,000 Striker? Holy. How come? Do you let your dad money?
Yeah, I did.
Jesus, Rob.
He's making me out to be a bum.
No, I lent you like $1 just so you could buy smoke.
Smokes.
that's a pretty big interest on $1, eh? It's just 5,000.
A charger or something.
For a charger?
Oh, that's awesome.
Or something else.
Hey, are you going to come on the podcast soon and we're going to talk wrestling or what?
Yeah.
Yeah, it'd be fun, eh?
Uh-huh.
Who's your favorite wrestler? Better not be Super Cena.
Hulk Hogan?
Yeah.
I like the Iron Sheik. I think he scared me the most out of anybody.
What was his move again?
Camel Clutch.
The Camel Clutch.
Double clutch.
Hey, Jab's favorite wrestler is Super Cena.
Super Cena. Super Cena. Remember what we did, Super Cena?
Yeah, that was Jab. Remember, you threw him across the room.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. When we
Like,
watched.
screw you, Super Cena.
Yeah.
When you watch 4 shows in a row.
Yeah.
Okay, Dad.
Okay, I love you.
Love you too, Dad.
Be
Bye.
be good to your mom and be kind to Mark.
Okay, bye.
Okay, bye.
Yeah.
Bye.
Bye.
Okay, so anyways, I just wanted to touch about our, like we're talking about parental alienation and some of the right things to do and some of the wrong things to do. Jab, you brought up a few good points by saying like with all the fighting that the two parents do, you tend to miss out on a lot of like a lot of the things that they do growing up and stuff like that. But here's the thing: is like Ricky and Jab, like it's too late now. I mean, your kids are growing up, but it's not too late for somebody else going through it. And all I urge people to do is that if you get served with paperwork, fucking reply and get it back in there. You will get a court date, because when me and my ex-wife went to court.
Is your ex-wife Erin Wood?
Yeah, Erin Wood.
Okay,
Yeah. When we went to court, we were pretty close to having the whole like basically neither one of us was walking out of there without 50-50. And that's what the judge said. He's like, you guys, there's not going to be one person that's going to get 70, not be one person gets 60. You guys are so close to an agreement right now. 50-50 is the number, and then we'll just figure out all the monetary shit after that. And I was happy with 50-50, and I still am. Like I believe that, I honestly truly believe that a kid needs both their parents. Unless you're a complete fucking destructive fucking dirtbag. And
But there are some out there.
There
I mean,
are.
there's
There
not
are.
just some. There's a lot.
Yeah, and you don't deserve that, right?
Yeah, for myself growing up, I was actually, I was lucky my dad left, because he was fucking super stressful, compulsive gambler, fucking like blow off the handle. Like my grandma was basically my dad, and my mom was my mom. So like I had that like in place, so it wasn't
structure.
It wasn't so hard on me. The first couple years it was, because you feel that abandonment and stuff, but I came to terms with it probably 19, maybe 20, 21. I realized I was actually fucking lucky.
Yeah, because
that my dad
at
left.
first you're like, well, other kids got dads, and I don't have a dad
See,
to bring, like so.
But here's the thing: is like I've known you since you're what, 10 years old, right?
Yeah, I was 10. You were like 15. Yeah.
15. Hanging out with the little uns, eh? Come here, little un. But what's it called? That sounded really fucking creepy.
That sounded bad.
But anyways, when your dad left, when your dad left, you didn't change at all. When you changed is when you went to visit him, and then you came back. That's when you changed.
Yeah.
Like your dad being gone, you were just like, yeah, thank
How
God.
old were you when you
gone.
visited him?
I went when I was 15.
No.
Yeah, I came back 16. No. I would have been 16. So I came back in. I went in grade 10, and so I was going into grade 11.
How long did you go visit him for?
Summer.
I painted. I fucking came back. I remember it was pretty funny actually. I was drinking those carnations. I was drinking those fucking protein drinks, carnations, and eating McDonald's every day, like 20 fucking nuggets, Big Macs, 3 or 4 of those carnation drinks. I came back like 20 pounds heavier.
Holy
a
fuck.
foot fucking, like, I swear.
A foot taller, yeah.
Easily a foot taller. People were like, holy fuck, man. And that was it.
That was the only good thing that ever come out of it, or?
Yeah, pretty much.
And he single-handedly took out CCP, but that's besides that.
Oh,
I'm just
boy.
kidding. No, but
Trying to get me in trouble with those guys.
Anyways, I just wanted to say that everybody has the right to go in front of a judge if you are a parent.
That's right.
And I urge everybody to do that. And there's gonna be a bunch of bullshit. Me and Aaron like fucking bicker back and forth.
But it's
To
a
this
lot
day,
better.
you still will, always.
It's a lot
But
better.
you know what I
now,
mean?
though.
Yeah,
Like,
it's getting there. It's getting there.
And to be honest, like I remember talking.
Actually, I'm gonna be honest. It's not getting any better. Let's just call it a spade a spade. It's not getting any
Let's
better.
call it spade a
'Cause
spade, right?
I remember bumping into her with her mom in the fucking into the Starbucks. And the mom came up to me. And was like, Marco, like we're trying to like work this stuff out, and I looked at the mom. I was like, yeah, I know, like you should want to work it out, but you got to realize. And she even told me, she's like I realize Erin's very fucking difficult, and right now she is like on pure battle mode, like it's a war.
Yeah.
And I just walked up to fucking Erin. I was like, like I 5, 7, 8, 10 years, you're gonna realize what you're doing here. It's such a waste of fucking energy.
Total waste of energy.
It is such a waste of energy.
You're gonna
regret it.
You're gonna
You're
regret
ruining
it.
the child. You're ruining relationships down the road, right? You're fucking up the kid.
Yeah.
It's a total waste because you get all this time when they're little, but it's the time you get when they become adults that is better.
Yeah.
As your kids are older, you get the stuff when they're little and it's all fun and games and whatever. But when they get older, that's when your better time.
Yeah.
I'm finding out that out more and more as the kids get older.
Yeah.
That time means more to me than
Yeah.
than the earlier times.
And
Yeah.
let's not forget, though,
because that's how they're.
they will pick up on that energy.
They're like sponges, man. They
for
soak
sure.
everything
Of
up,
course they
man.
For sure. Like
That's
so-
why, I don't know how she runs her household, but
Yeah.
we run our household, Casey and myself, with love, respect, dignity, structure, rules.
You have to.
And that's it. So we're good. Yeah.
But is she in a relationship with someone else?
Yeah.
Yeah.
She's and you want something? Mark's a great guy, and
Good.
Stryker loves him. And,
Oh, that's
and I've
awesome.
met him,
And
he's a nice guy.
and that's good. That's a really good thing.
He was
really
at the
nice
store the one time we went. He pulled in like right beside us or right behind us.
Oh, that's awesome.
yeah. Yeah,
So he's got a GPS.
We were there. We
He's
went-
got a
yeah.
GPS tracker right under your vehicle.
No, but
I'm just joking. He's
no,
a
but
cool-
even
cool
even when
cat.
he called in, even when we were talking to Stryker
Aw.
on the phone, I said, "Be nice to your." I say that every time.
Yeah,
Be
yeah.
nice to your mom and be nice to
Yeah,
your
you
should
have
wanna
to
do that.
You
Well,
know,
that's one of the things I always told Katie and Maddie. Like always, regardless of what's going on, respect your mother.
Yeah.
Maddie for a while there was calling her by her name, and I'm like, you just call her mom. And
Yeah, for sure.
just do that because that's how you should be. Don't let anything else.
Yeah.
I guess just always try to treat her with respect, even if you're not getting it or you hate the things she's doing. Always treat her.
she's
with
your
respect.
mom,
Yeah,
no
because
matter what.
I recently had a conversation with Jossie, and it actually brought back a lot of like good memories. Like we all grew up together, right? So like I like Jossie, right? And I asked her if she wanted to possibly come on the podcast with us, and she said she was gonna phone her husband and talk it over with him and see potentially if they're gonna come on or not, right? But I think it's good. Like she's like, you know what? Like we were so fucking young, and I know Jason's a good fucking dad, and it was just because you guys were butting
you just
heads.
battle so much.
Yeah,
right?
you
You
battled
just-
so much, but like we're fucking human beings, man. Like we're gonna make mistakes, but once you let go of like having control over somebody, or that like you want to dig in and get the last like fuck you. Once you throw that out the window, everything comes together, and it's a stress reliever for everybody. Kid,
like
mom,
I said,
dad.
do what's in the best interest
Yeah.
for the fucking kids, man.
Absolutely.
Bottom line, man.
And so Ricky, you got a paper there. Do you want to? You had a friend that's going through something pretty crazy.
Yeah,
do
I
you
had a
want to
friend
read?
here.
Do you want to read a little bit?
I'll read his
couple
story.
minutes?
I'll read his story, right? Because he wanted me to read it
Yeah,
out, right?
and
Just
your
so
friends-
people, I don't want to name. I don't want to say his name.
Okay, yeah,
Because he wanted me to keep it
but
quiet.
it's a buddy of yours.
Yeah, so it starts off like this, right? So, because he this guy's pretty distraught. This has happened just recently, right? So, he says, let me see here, where this starts off here. When my daughter was 4, me and my ex decided that our relationship and love for one another was no longer there, and we both agreed for the next 6 months. We agreed to break up, right? For the next 6 months, all was fine, mutual understanding, visiting my daughter on a regular basis, until one day my doorbell rang. I opened the door and I'm being served papers for custody of my daughter. So, to my mindset, he said, is what the fuck? I call my ex just to hear a recording. You're trying to reach a person that doesn't accept calls from this number.
Blocked him.
Yeah, blocked him. Not only am I pissed off, I'm freaking out. So he used his neighbor's number. And he's thinking, and in his head, he's thinking, like, my daughter been kidnapped? What the fuck's going on, right?
Yeah.
So he uses his neighbor's phone to call my ex, where she says, "Did you get the papers I served you?" He says, "Yes." And he says, "What the fuck is this all about?" She says, "We'll see you in court." and hangs up the phone.
Wow.
Right? So he tries to call her back. Now his neighbor's number's blocked. So he's like, what the fuck, right? So that court date comes, and as soon as he got there, he gets his answers why she's acting like that. She's sitting there with her new boyfriend and with his daughter. So now he's pissed off. Why the fuck are you bringing my daughter to court when it's a school day? Right? Which I understand. Like, why would you bring your kid to court on a school fucking day? Yeah. Why are you including your kid in this bullshit, right? To let her see. Like I said, kids are like sponges. They fucking pick up on everything, right? So, so I'm trying to pick up where I picked up from reading there. He freaked at that day. So he sees his daughter there. So he freaks out, right? He totally flipped right the fuck out, right? And he didn't want to talk about that chaos that happened that day, but it didn't help him in any way, he says, right?
No, for sure.
He said losing control of my emotions, it made me look bad and put me in a step backwards in the fight I was up against.
Yep.
At the end of our first trial, the judge put in a new order in that was to move closer to his child, and me and my ex could talk about extending parenting time, right?
Yeah.
So he was fucking ecstatic about that. So that's exactly what he did. I moved right down the street from my child. Well, my ex freaked out, claiming that I was stalking her, and I was the reason her now ex-boyfriend is no longer with her.
Oh, jeez.
I said to her exactly what the judge said to me. If I move closer, we can talk about extending father-daughter time. When then I wanted to talk about adjusting our parenting time, my ex refused. I was disgusted with her attitude and disregard for my daughter's feelings. So I got nasty with my words, and again, it fucked me because she was gaslighting me and recorded our conversation.
Oh boy.
But only recorded what I was saying and told the judge they were messages I left on her answering machine, when in fact she paused it when she was baiting and bashing me. Yeah. And when I responded, she recorded it. The judge believed her over me. I was again standing there frustrated and confused with a desire to lose my cool again, but I knew that's what was making all of this happen. So I bit my lip. So I ended up with video calls to my daughter on that day in court. In video calls to my child, my ex would be there in the room with her. My child repeated over and over, looking at her mother, I don't want to talk to him. You know how fucking hard that is for a guy to sit there and listen to their own child say, I don't want to talk to him. Like, that fucking rips your heart in a million fucking pieces. When you love this.
I see. I can't imagine that. I can't.
So then in court, my ex-wife told the judge that she did not encourage her to talk to me because it stressed our daughter out. She was very convincing. The judge took away my parenting time and told me that if I call and my child refuses to talk to me, I have to end the call in order not to stress my child out. Wow. Now that's fucked, if you ask me. That's just messed up, right? Shortly after this judgment, I watched when my daughter went to play soccer for the first time. She was crying. I don't want to play soccer, she screamed. My child was even more stressed out than when she was talking to me when I was on the phone. Yet her mother encouraged her to stay and play soccer. Her mother would not encourage her to stay and talk to me, which is, what I mean?
So obviously the kid has, anxiety and emotional problems.
And where does that come from?
Stuff.
Where does that come from?
It probably comes from the other parent.
Yeah, planting
For
seeds.
sure.
Planting seeds.
Yeah.
Talking to your child about parenting things, which you should never fucking do, man.
No. You're not supposed to talk to him about any of that.
No, and you know what? You wouldn't believe how many people confine in their kids about court procedures.
Yeah.
Why would you do that? That's for what do you call it? For self satisfaction.
Self-satisfaction. What are you saying?
Like
Self-satisfaction?
when you go talk to your kids about your own court hearings, and you know what your dad's doing to me, or you know what your mom's doing to me, making me feel like you're talking to your kids about your court hearings. That's fucked up, man. You don't do that.
You're a complete douchebag if you're doing that.
You absolutely 100%.
Well, you should leave them out of it. Like that, you should always want them to see the other parent, and don't tell them all the little
Encourage
details.
them to see the other parent, right?
Let that come later or whatever, right? Like,
You know, and you never let you never let your kids see you distressed and crying and upset.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, a lot of mothers, fathers do that. What's wrong, Daddy? What's wrong, Mommy?
Well,
And
like I said before, man. We're all guilty of it, but we're all guilty of it, right?
Absolutely.
What do you got there? What are you passing around notes?
No.
So shortly after this judgment, I watched when my daughter was playing soccer for the first time. She was crying. I don't want to play soccer. My child was even more distressed about being than when she was talking to me on the phone. Yet her mother encouraged her to stay and play soccer. Her mother would not encourage me to talk to me, but would encourage her to play soccer. Right there, I realized that I was dealing with not with a smother of a mother. I was dealing with a narcissistic bitch.
Yeah.
It was all about her, what she wanted, what she did and didn't want. Not at all about her child's or my rights as my child's parent. I had arranged that in my parenting time, my child and I would go on a vacation together. I informed the teacher in advance that my daughter would not be there Monday and Tuesday. My ex sent me a text message to inform me that she would be at the school on Monday to be a helper. I then informed my ex that our daughter would not be there. I know that narcissistic people often get mad when they don't get their way, but this was like talking to Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde. She went off on me, screaming, "This is always about you, what you want." I didn't react, though, because I remembered that
From previous fucking
Yeah, I got
experiences.
he
Shit
didn't react
already.
because from previous
Yeah.
accusing me of selfishness could be seen as a perfect example of projection, bashing, and baiting is what she would do, fulfill what she would do to him, right? The term I learned what narcissistic people do was that they just totally bash and bait me, right? My daughter will not do simple little things like change her own clothes, using the bathroom, or sleeping in her own bed. She always asks for help. I'm afraid that is how she gets her mother's attention.
Yeah.
Which I understand. Kids do that. Like, they do little things like that. And a lot of people don't understand that. You know, like my daughter, when she was...
She's traumatized. She wants...
Absolutely, right?
Like, well, hold on. Not necessarily. Like, let's not forget here. Kids are fucking assholes.
They are.
And they
are. You're right, Rob.
Yeah.
They are fucking assholes.
And they play one parent against the other.
I think-
There has been a lot of times
I
where
think we should touch on that a little bit.
There's been a lot of times where Stryker has been over at his mom's house and does something over there, and then comes to my house and like, I can't do that.
Yeah.
And then I'm like, yeah, you can. You do this shit all the time. You don't wipe your own fucking ass. I'm not wiping your ass for you. I'm
That's right. And he says...
using that as an example, right?
Yeah, my friend says
Yeah.
her mother
Because
is too
kids-
focused on herself to
kids
pay
see-
attention to her, though, right? He says...
Kids see what the mom and the dad are doing going against each other, and they learn how to manipulate the
Oh, yeah,
situation.
like they're-
100,
Yes,
man.
yeah,
Like,
so-
fucking right. My
Monkey
parents
see,
separated
monkey
when I was
do,
a
right?
kid, and I knew how to manipulate my parents.
Yeah.
Well,
Dad,
that's
can I
just
have some
like-
money?
yeah, that's just like
Mom,
the
can I
one
have some
parent
money?
saying no, and
You
then
know?
go in the other room and asking the other
Yeah.
parent, "Can I do this?" And like,
Yeah.
"Oh yeah, sure, here you go."
Yeah.
Yeah. No,
Absolutely.
kids are assholes, man.
So my friend says, so when my father had cancer and was nearing the end of his life, I sometimes had to miss my parenting times to take my father to cancer treatments. My ex would never switch my hours or allow makeup time. She had zero empathy for my father or me and never accompanied my situation. With a $700 a month taken out of my check for child support, it had been hard to support myself, even living with my parents. Finally, I had no file Chapter 7. He had to file bankruptcy.
Yeah. Yeah.
Right? Finally, so I was behind on a lot of bills, including some of my daughter's medical bills. My ex didn't care. She just told me it's my fault. Again, zero empathy for my situation. Instead of trying to be helpful, she filed charges against me for not paying the bills. When my daughter was 5 years old, I did a Google search using the name her mother had given her, because she didn't use his last name. She used her maiden name, which I was like, what the fuck, right? So I was shocked to find out that my child had been baptized at a few months old. My ex never told me. Now, don't you think that's something that when you're a father and you're still together with a woman and she goes out behind your back and baptizes...
Just hold on here. Who is this fucking guy? Your buddy?
It's a friend of mine, right? So she didn't know. They were still together. She went out. He was at work. She went out and she baptized their daughter.
I'm pretty sure that's a you actually have to go to court for shit like that.
Yeah,
nowadays.
you should.
Because
Yeah.
if I don't want my kid to be baptized, but you do,
have a
like
right.
again, Ricky, we have a kid here, okay?
Yeah.
You and I, the ugliest kid
That's
on the
gross,
planet.
right?
It's gross. Yes, it's gross. But you,
Robbie Ray.
No, I'm saying what she did is fucking gross.
that's gross. That's gross. But however, if you want the child baptized and I don't, we have to go, and we're separated. We have to go to a court hearing.
They weren't
sure for
separated. That's the thing. They weren't separated.
Oh, they weren't.
She went
They
behind
were,
his back.
He was at work.
Okay, well, yeah, I don't think there's anything to do about that.
And he says, I was shocked to find that my child has been baptized at a few months old. My ex never told me. Normal people discuss life events with the co-parent and invite them to share that moment.
Yeah.
I would not have objected, he said. I just want to be part of my daughter's life. Again, zero regard for my concerns, right?
Yeah.
We had to meet with a mediator to try to negotiate. My ex-wife would not agree to any compromises. When I gave her something she wanted, she never reciprocated. She just went on as if nothing I did was ever good enough for her. Whenever she could find a way, my ex interferes with my time with our child. For instance, she comes early to pick up our child when it's my parenting time and drops her off late.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, see that's
a
like
common.
that's
That's
common.
fucking
That's
101.
very- yeah,
Right?
That's very common.
She also goes to my daughter's friends' birthday parties during my time and monopolizes my daughter's attention.
Wow.
So last year, after my child opened her Christmas gifts, she started crying, saying she wanted to go back to her mom. I asked why. She said, "I don't want to be with you." This was very upsetting to him, right? This destroyed him, right? It seems as if my wife is winning her campaign to eliminate me from her life. Now, a year gone by, my daughter is 7 and her mom moved to Alberta without telling me. I took it to court to find out the provincial court can't enforce a visitation order. I was blown away. The Supreme Court can, but now I need a lawyer, and that costs money, and I'm barely getting by. You know?
that part there where she's like, "I want to go home," or can you?
Yeah. So he says. So
that again,
Christmas,
sorry.
last year, after my child opened her Christmas gift, she started crying, saying she wanted to go home, go back to her mom.
Okay, see, and there's a few other things in there that are on that checklist, like the parental alienation syndrome checklist, and one of them is claims of independent thought.
Yeah.
And like past kids seem to be unduly influenced by the alienating parent. Right?
That's right.
But they insist that they made the decision to reject the targeted parent themselves.
That's absolutely correct.
And
right?
they haven't.
They haven't. They've been coached.
Yeah, they've been coached, and it's a huge. Like, man, you want to know something?
This one's tough, man.
Yeah,
This is tough.
it is because, like,
It's happening world fucking wide,
well,
dude.
yeah, of course it is. But like I said, let's face it, some
people are crazier
are
than others.
deadbeat dads. and
Some are deadbeat dads. Some are
moms.
stupid, dumb cunt mothers. But when a father loves their kid and when a mother loves their kid, and the two know this, there should be no. You love your kid, man. That's the bottom line.
I
You
love
love
the kid.
your
That's the
fucking
kid's
kid,
mom.
Yeah,
and
and
you
I'll
will
never
do
portray
whatever
anything.
you want
Yeah.
for your kid.
Quit at that fucking table and you do something for me
Sorry, man, but
and our future fucking Robbie
Yeah,
Rage kid.
thumpy and fucking
Bobby
Mr.
Rage.
Thumpy Rage and fucking Mr. fucking fuck the mic. It's
I gotta figure out what's going on over
But
here.
anyways, So yeah, and I suggest that everybody else do that. Like, if you have
Yeah.
hatred for your ex-wife or your ex or whatever,
Just think of the
don't-
kids.
Yeah, don't
Yeah,
put it
bury
towards
it.
the kid, right? Like,
Bury it.
Every
you know,
kid has
I
a
never
right to
talk
love their
ill.
dad and their mom. You never use
Yeah.
that. Like, this is what my ex did. If mommy hates daddy, you hate daddy
Yeah,
too.
yeah, for sure.
That's fucking bullshit, man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because my daughter and me, like I said, my daughter was born 2 hours before my birthday. The bond between me and her was unbearable. I remember I would drop her off after some visits. She'd be crying her eyes out. No, Daddy, I stay with you. I'm like, well, you have to go with mommy. I dropped her off one time. She punched her mom in the fucking nose. Literally punched her mom in the nose. And I went, oh. I got home. I got a phone call. You need to discipline your daughter more. I go, what are you talking about? She's good as fucking gold for me.
Yeah.
Well, I don't like her attitude. I go, well, then fuck, stop being a bitch to her, right?
I would get that quite a bit, like when they would act up at home. That
Yeah.
It's your fault, right?
Yeah,
It's your
or
fault,
they
right?
want me to do. She would want me to discipline the girls, and it's
and
like,
it's
well,
hard.
I can't. What am I supposed to do? When they're there,
They're
like I can
golden.
tell them don't be that way when you're at home. But when they're acting up at home, I can't. Your house, there's
How are
nothing
they
I
with
can
you,
do
Jay,
about
though?
it.
How were they with you? They're good as gold, right?
Well, they're good. I mean, sometimes kids have bad days or
Kids
whatever,
are kids, right?
But when they would come over to our place for like a weekend or whatever, it'd be fun, right?
Yeah.
Because we're
Jab's
not just gonna
fun.
sit. We're not just gonna sit and do laundry or whatever, clean up, right? Like,
Yeah, exactly.
so
right?
you
You're
didn't have
taking
to
them
do.
to the fucking
You didn't have to do a
drive-in.
lot of cleanup.
We're going to a
cleaning up or
P&E.
whatever,
We're doing
right?
whatever the fuck
So-
we can, right? You know?
But yeah, so I would get well, you got to help discipline. I was like, well, I can't do anything when they're there. That's your job. It's just like if they do something here, I'm not calling you to say that this is what they need to be
But
doing.
they would blame that on
Oh
you.
no, but like in the beginning of that shit, that's how it all starts. Oh well, like I do remember one time like Aaron saying, "Yeah, Stryker's grounded here," so I told him grounded for 2 weeks. So, and I was like, "Yeah, okay, like he's here for a week. What you want me to?" She's like, "I want you to ground him there too," and I'm like. I would do that. I
No.
would do that if he called his mom a fucking bitch or something. Like, you know, if he was
Something
like
bad.
like it was something really bad.
or hucked a bunch of knives at her or something, then yes, I'd be like, you're fucking grounded
But
for here
you
as
knew
well.
she
but-
was just trying to manipulate you having a good time with Stryker.
Yeah.
So she
She's
probably
trying to control the whole
yeah,
situation. Fuck
Yeah.
that, right?
Yeah.
But yeah, so like
I'm sorry, you made me
that-
Disneyland dad, and that's what we're going to be on the weekends when it's my time.
No,
I'm
but you see,
Disneyland
like
dad.
that's yeah, but you see, like it's you also have to think being a weekend dad is a lot easier than fucking doing the
Absolutely.
fucking school, getting them up for school, after school
Definitely,
care. These little
definitely.
fuckers need to eat. These little fuckers need to bathe.
I agree.
Like
They
kids are
always
fucking
need
assholes.
to
But
eat.
she
Those
made that
fuckers.
fucking choice, though.
No, but hey, but you want to know something?
You got to chip
Whatever
in. You got to let it.
Yeah, but whatever the reason is, whatever the reason might be, you got to think like weekend dad is fun dad,
That's right. It
right?
is.
Or weekend mom is fun mom,
That's right.
right? But like when you're doing the day fucking
You do
grind
the
with
12
these
days
little fuckers,
until the next visit. It's you know,
it's different.
daycare, all this,
And
all
so
this shit.
and
right?
so that's when I honestly think it should be like the mom should call the dad and say, hey, you want to know on a Wednesday, your little fucking kid's being a fucking asshole.
That's what I always said. Call
then
me,
fucking
and then
boom,
I
and then
will.
and then you
Discipline.
can get in there.
But if I'm not if I'm the one initiating the contact all the time. When my kids were supposed to have phone calls with me and they were supposed to call me, they never did. She never initiated it. I had to call them, and she'd go, "Hold on."
Yeah.
Like, who the fuck wants to hear that? Hold on.
Well, I mean, what's she supposed to be? Oh, hi, Ricky. Can
No,
I
no,
suck
no,
your
no.
fucking dick before the
No,
kids
no.
get here?
No, no.
Like,
She's supposed to. The judge said the kids are supposed to call me,
That could
Okay.
have been
but
part
they
of the
didn't
deal.
call me. I had to call them.
Okay, but your situation was fucked up to begin with because she broke every fucking order in your fucking court order.
Absolutely right.
Yeah,
so
yeah.
so that was distraught to me. So that she was not like any parent who's a good parent would say, listen, your mom and dad are not together no more, but you still,
Yeah,
your
you
dad
need to
still
see your
loves
dad.
you.
Yeah, yeah.
Your dad still wants to be around you. Not to go and sit there and do the opposite, right? That's what pisses me off, right?
This is and this is honestly this is it for me. If let's say Aaron got Stryker 100% of the time, I'm sorry, he's gonna drive her fucking nuts. If I got Stryker 100% of the
Same
time,
thing, right?
He's gonna drive me nuts. So it's probably best that we're 50-50. Not 60-40, not 70-30, not 80-20, not 100 fucking percent. 50-50. It's eventually what's going to level the kid out.
And every parent has a right to love their kid, right? The bottom line, you know.
Bottom line, but like she, you know, like fucking a lot of times people like she might want to fight me for a little bit extra, or even get me completely out of his life. Good luck. He's 9 years old now, and I know exactly what he's gonna be. Where's dad? I want to talk dad. Dad. That's all that's gonna come out of his mouth.
And you know what sucks though is my mom and dad.
Striker, what's 2 + 2? Dad.
Yeah.
Dad.
My mom, after she manipulated my parents, that all went away. My mom and dad have not seen their granddaughter for like 15 years.
So they fucked it up themselves.
They fucked it up themselves by listening to her because they just want to be grandparents.
Yeah.
And then there's not just my mom and dad. There's their cousins, their aunts, their uncles. Like I said, there's a huge family on my side that don't know her.
Can I give you a little bit of advice?
I
mean,
would
I'm
love
not
it.
there, but this is what I'm planning on doing. If my relationship like that with my kid ever goes sideways, this is what I'm planning on doing. If he contacts me in his 20s, like how old's your daughter now? 19.
19. She turned 19 on Saturday.
Let's say for instance she contacts you tomorrow. You want to know something? Don't bring up any of the shit in the past.
Absolutely.
And just say hey man, we're talking now.
That's all
let's
that's
just
important.
Move forward. You have so many years left in your life, and whatever
The past
years,
is the past.
Whatever years I have left, I want to dedicate to you. Boom.
That's right. Absolutely. Because you know what? If you're living in the past, you're not moving forward. That's the way I look at it. If you're bringing up all the past and all that shit,
That almost didn't make any fucking sense.
yeah. But if
but it does. I
you're
get you.
living in the past about things that happened in the past, how can you move forward, right?
Yeah.
I enjoyed
Yeah,
it.
so what? Please like, share, and subscribe the podcast to get a bunch more
Why are you talking like Matthew
viewers.
McConaughey, man?
What?
Yeah, all right.
It's the new haircut. It's the haircut.
All right.